transmission. Sector 9. The signal is bleeding.
Tungsten skies leaking through the vents. Mercury stains the monument. The reactor hums a hollow prayer. Static is the only ghost out there. Pressure climbs the copper spine. Wait for the clock to realign. Oxygen is a luxury we trade. Living in the silhouette of the blade. Like rain dissolves the iron grid. Everything the architect had hid. Distance screaming in the dark, waiting for the accidental spark. Silicon shifting in the silt. Guilt is the city that we built. Friction on the rusted gear. Listen to the frequency of fear. The core is cooling. The ghost is ruling. Black rain dissolves the iron grid. Everything the architect had hid. Distance screaming in the dark, waiting for the accidental spark. Second 9. Both live. Static. Static. Static.
Carbon fiber snap against the heavy gale. A skeletal horizon starts to unveil. Hydraulic fluids leak into the frozen ground. The algorithm searches for a human sound. Voltage spikes across the rusted copper vein. The ghost within the circuit starts to feel the strain. A sudden fracture in the mainframe. We watch the silicon empire begin to fall. Isolate the signal from the wreckage site. A rusted monolith bleeds into the night. Soldered the synapses to the cooling frame. The logic gate is burning with the liquid flame. Quantum jitter in the optical nerve. A trajectory that the sensors observe. The architect starts to bend and sway as the solar wind strips the layers away. Velocity is the only currency left of every memory and shadow bereft. Cause the silence with the kinetic strike. This is the resonance, the terminal is like scraping the carbon from the reactor floor. The ghost is knocking at the airlock door. A calculated drift in the central clock. The gears are grinding in a deadlock shock. Entropy is a constant. The void is an upgrade. The terminal is like data corruption complete. Zero state achieved. Obsidian sea. Where the gravity sets the spirit free. No stars above and no ground below. Only the rhythm of the undertow.
The synapse fires with a foreign intent. 1,000 gigabytes of violent dissent. Merging the consciousness with caustic code. Watching the ancient mental walls around. The parasite is weaving through the frontal lobe. A silver needle in a velvet probe. I feel the static crawling under my skin. The transformation is about to begin. Post accepted. Integration total. The soul is in error. Liquid light. The host is gone. Only the signal remains. Seven circles drawn in the digital dust. A sacrifice of iron and of ancient rust. The ritual begins within the heavy bass. A mirror reflecting a faceless place. Summon the resonance from the hollow earth. A violent labor and a jagged birth. The incense smoke is thick with burning lead. Communicating with the restless dead. Eldritch patterns on the monitor screen. The ghost of a god in the black machine. Sigils flashing in the strobe light glare. The scent of ozone in the stagnant air. The void is listening. The sequence is complete. Ascend. Ascend! orbiting the edge of a collapsed sun. The counter absolute zero has begun. Magnetic fields are tearing at the hull. The heavy sirens inside a dying skull. The light is bending in a perfect arc. A frozen journey through the hungry dark. A vexed rush and pulling at the bone. A king of nothing on a carpet throne. Collapsed stars inside a hollow chest. The final movement of a cosmic rest. Drowning in the gravity of the void. Every single memory destroyed. Spaghettified logic in a stream of dust. A titanium spirit covered in rust. The center of the mass begins to scream. A violent rupture in the fabric dream.